There is actually royalty in there, so I have a drop of royal blood. Must be very, very small, but yeah. Yeah, so that's really interesting to go back through and have a look.
It's all right. That's not the reason why you decided to run for Shire President, is just keeping with the power dynamics.
No. Is that one of my questions?
No. Michelle Campbell, welcome to Question Roulette.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you for the invitation.
That's right, it's my pleasure. Right, so firstly, Michelle, for those who do not know much about you, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Rightio. How far back do you want me to go?
As far back as you want to go.
Okay. Born and bred in Australind. Left Australind when I was 17, turning 18, to join the army. Did 20 years in the army and met my husband there. Got married, of course, came back when we both retired after 20 years and lived up in Leschenault. Have 2 kids and 1 grandie. So, did some jobs with the education department when I got out of the army because I was bored sitting at home. and of course got involved in a lot of the community groups as well. And in my second term as on local government as a councillor, the last 2 has been Shire President.
Yep, and obviously you're halfway through your first Shire President term. How are you finding it?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's challenging, and I think you get out of it what you put into the role. So, our Shire's growing at such a rapid rate. There's lots of demands on myself, the deputy, and councillors, and our staff. And so the role's growing, I think, from when I first joined council to what it is now. But I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah,
a few more grey hairs, but that's all right.
So that just comes with age, I think.
It does, yeah, and genetics, yes.
So I'll go over the rules of Question Roulette for you, Michelle. So they're relatively simple. No one's stuffed them up so far. So
there's always a first, yes.
There's always a first. Hopefully it won't be this time.
That's okay, yep.
So you'll see here we've got a box full of 200 counters.
Oh, wow, yes.
And 100 of them are blue counters and 100 of them are black counters. The blue counters are less serious questions. The black counters are more serious questions. Your job is to pick 5 blue counters and 5 black counters. And then from there, we'll do an interview based on questions that are linked to those counters.
Okay. So you want me to do that now?
Yes, do that now.
All right. Okay. What if they're all blue? That would have been nice.
Got to ask you something hard.
I know, some tricky ones. There we go.
Who is your favourite other politician?
Oh, that is a good one. I'm just trying to think.
It doesn't have to be local government, it can be state, federal, whoever.
Yeah, I know. I'm really struggling with that one. Do you know who I really like that's come in? Is Basil.
Basil Zemplis.
I do, yeah. And do you know, because he's so charismatic and can get the message across really well, and it seems to come from the heart, his messaging. So, I'm having 20 years in the army, we were apolitical. So it really didn't matter which government was in. It didn't impact on us. We just had to get out there and do our job. So it wasn't until we got out of the army that we sort of started to take an interest in politicians and politics and the like. But, you know, at the end of the day, I'm still not really fussed about it. But Basil, quite like his style. I wish I had his ability to speak. Yeah.
What are your views on pineapple on pizza?
Pineapple on pizza is a must. Love pineapple. Ooh. But I'll tell you a story. When I was I got posted to Queensland, and I always thought pineapples grew out of trees, right?
Yeah.
So, did you think pineapples grew out of trees or no?
When I was younger,
Yes, so there you go. So we get to Queensland, to Brisbane, and they said, we're taking you to the big pineapple. And I went, great, big tourist attraction. Drive up there, and I said, well, when are we going to start seeing pineapples? And there was just paddocks of them, So I realised then that pineapples don't grow out of trees. But in regards to pizza, I love pineapple on pizza.
Is it like any pizza, or like does it have to be Hawaiian?
No, I've only ever had it on Hawaiian. So only on Hawaiian. There we go.
So not supreme or anything like that?
No. No, it lives on a Hawaiian pizza. Yeah.
What was your first pet?
Crikey, we are going back. Brunswick Show, the small animals farm display. At the end of the show, you could bring the chickens home for free.
Ooh.
So I think our first pet was a chicken from the Brunswick Show.
How iconic.
I know. So, and I think every year thereafter with my sisters, we always brought a couple of chickens home from the small animal farm display. Yeah. Mum wouldn't let us bring any of the other animals home, but chickens were fine. Yeah.
That was the borderline. Like, you can bring chickens home, but nothing else.
Nothing else. No, that she could cope with the chickens. Yep. In regards to their size, and they really looked after themselves. But yeah.
Do you remember how long you had the chicken
Not for long, I don't think. Not where we lived. There were foxes around then. So yeah. But in regards to pets, we've always had dogs. Our family. This is the first time now. We lost our beagle end of last year.
Aww.
Yeah, old Toby. So we've yet to get another pet in our house. So currently we don't have any, but we managed to house sit and look after a few of our neighbours' dogs.
Aww.
So that's nice. But yeah. But first pet, a chicken. Any bizarre pets I've had after that? Not really. They're the normal. Cats, dogs, birds, fish.
I feel like I already know the answer to this one. Do you prefer cats or dogs?
Dogs. Yeah. Although when I met Greg, he had a couple of cats, and when the kids were growing up, we always had cats, but we always had dogs as well. I think the most dogs we've had in one time was 3. With a permit from the Shire to have 3 dogs,
yes,
but they were
course.
Irish wolfhounds, so they weren't just little dogs, they were like horses. So Greg would, any time we went somewhere as a family and we took the dogs, Greg would have the station wagon with the 3 dogs,
Yeah.
and I'd have the family car with the 2 kids. I always thought he got the better deal.
Less hassle the dogs.
Yeah, they were, but they were lovely. So. And then, because unfortunately they don't live for long, the wolfhounds, so, and our boy Mackenzie was only young, and I said to Greg, no, a boy's got to have a dog to look after and be responsible with. So Greg goes, a couple of days later, he said, oh, Michelle, do you think you could go to the airport? I said, oh, what for? He said, to pick up a dingo. And I said, a dingo? What are you doing with a dingo? He said, well, I thought we'd get a dingo for Mackenzie. So we got this dingo pup from a place called Mount Hart Station up north, flew in. And he was fabulous, but when the kids started getting a bit older, he got a bit rough with their mates and the like. So we moved him over to Victoria to some dingo breeding place. And then we replaced him with a beagle. So
probably a bit more comfortable of a choice.
Yes, he was. Old Tobes was very good. But in his last days, Toby was blind, had thyroid problems, heart problems, arthritis, and was a diabetic. So he had more medication than my husband. I used to medicate, Greg had a Webster pack and Toby had just about needed a Webster pack.
As well, yeah.
Yeah, so so we've always had animals. This is the first time we've not had any pets, so yeah. But we've got our first Grandy, so that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of makes up for it.
Kind of makes up for it. Yeah.
What is your family's ancestry?
On my father's side, it's Scottish and Irish, and on my mother's side it's English. And it's interesting you ask that question, because my son just did that DNA testing thing, where you can trace back your ancestry, and it is remarkable. Apparently one of his parents, so it's either Greg or myself, it has Greek in us, Cypriot, Irish, Scottish, just about English, just about absolutely everything.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. But to the best of my knowledge, it's predominantly Irish, Scottish and English.
So very British Isles.
Very British, yes. Haven't yet been back there. That's on my bucket list, to go back and visit through the UK and Ireland and Scotland. Yeah.
Would you ever consider doing a DNA test yourself?
Do you know, I thought about that. Yeah, because and apparently Mackenzie was only on it the other day. They update it for you as well, and then I think the scary part is they give you a list of people that have a percentage of genetics similar to yours that you could be possibly related to or whatever. So there's a lot of his cousins that have done the DNA testing, so they all pop up. But there's all these other names as well. You think, oh. Who are they?
That's interesting.
That's an interesting one, yeah. But on my father's side, we have a family tree that goes back many, many, many generations. So
oh, wow.
There is actually royalty in there. So
wow.
I have a drop of royal blood. Must be very, very small, but yeah. Yeah, so that's really interesting to go back through and have a look.
That's right. That's not the reason why you decided to run for Shire President, is just keeping with the power dynamics.
No. Is that one of my questions?
No.
Yeah, no, not at all. But it's interesting to go back through your ancestry and find out how you're related or who you're related to. And yeah, it was a bit surprising to see a bit of royalty in there, and I thought, oh, there you go. On my side, I don't know about Greg's. He's probably a bit of a heathen. Well, royalty on our side. Yes.
Take the crown for you.
Yeah, I'll wear the little tiara occasionally. Yeah.
Next question, which I think is very subjective one. At what age do you consider people to be old?
Oh, listen, I think it varies. And, it's funny, people look at, my kids look at me, and I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I'm on the other side of 60, and they don't see you as being old, and I've recently lost my father this year at 82, and I never considered him being old either. And my godfather, he was 85, but because they were constantly out there doing things, they were fishing and crabbing and travelling and whatever, so you just don't visualise them or consider them being old. So I think there's, I don't want to tell you what my age thing is in regards to being old. I just think it's how healthy you are, how you're living your life, and people in their 80s still think they're young at heart, and I think that's fabulous. I hope I'm like that.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, that's right, yes, yeah. But it's, as you said, it's subjective, and I think if you're living life the best you can, and enjoying it and making the most of it, then you're still young at heart.
Yeah, that's what you can hope for.
That's right, yes.
Yeah. What is your biggest concern for the future?
Listen, the immediate future I would suggest is what is happening in the Middle East at the moment, and and with the current US President and the way that he deals with things, I have concerns around that and what that could potentially emanate into in regards to the future, and that's not so far down the line either, and how that could possibly impact on my kids and my grandkids. So constantly keep an eye on it, and feel blessed that where we live, if we didn't have the newspaper or Facebook or ABC News or whatever, you could be oblivious to it all. And but yeah, I am concerned about what is happening over there.
Yep. What about sort of more long term? Is there sort of any trends that you're looking at around the world?
Well, I suppose renewable energy is an interesting one, because I feel that, and I understand the need to go down that pathway, and I support it, but the pace that it's happening at is a concern to me. I find some people might say AI is a concern moving forward too, but I think if you embrace AI, there will be benefits in that, but yeah, and embrace it cautiously.
Yes.
But that seems to be evolving at such a rapid rate, and I'm not really across it all, but ChatGPT is about my limit at the moment.
Do you use it much at all?
Well, can I tell you a story about this?
Yes.
I don't use it a lot, but Greg, now my husband, he volunteers at the Dolphin Discovery Centre, and he's doing a lot of stuff for them, writing up pamphlets and booklets and the stuff on sea creatures, basically. So the other day I heard him having a conversation, and I thought, crikey, I hope he's not talking to someone on the phone like that, because his voice was elevated and he was getting a bit agitated. So I just went into the office and I said, Greg, who are you talking to? He said, ChatGPT. And I said, really? He said, yeah, I'm having an argument with it because they're wrong. So so instead of typing in whatever he does, he speaks to it, Siri or whoever it is in there, and there has this in-depth conversation. But he wasn't happy with the information that they were providing, and he was getting quite upset about it. And I'm going, really, Greg? I just close the door and ignore it now. But yeah, so it's quite interesting, isn't it, how it's evolving, and it's coming into your house, your home.
Yeah.
And but I like to think that Greg has embraced it. He hasn't switched it off yet, and there's some interesting conversations he has with it. Yes.
How do you feel about your husband effectively having an argument with a computer?
I know. Listen, it would do my head in if I overthought it. So I just say, I just let him go. Okay, well, he's happy if he can pick up that it's made a mistake. And it's quite interesting because he'll say, oh, you are correct. And he'll come out saying, I won. So, I let it go. But I think it's just another way of embracing that technology moving forward. So, it's going to be interesting.
Definitely.
Yes, yep.
Are you an early bird or a night owl?
I'm an early bird. I love, as soon as I wake up in the morning, regardless of the time, I have to get up, have a cup of tea, and my brain starts clicking over. I'm not one of these people that can just roll over and go back to sleep. That has never worked for me. So, and in the army, I suppose it was instilled in you, you were awake at all hours of the day and the night. But definitely an early bird. I love going out early in the morning, watching the sunrise. It's the best part of the day.
Yeah.
The air's nice and crisp, and it's a fresh start to the day. So, love that. Yeah.
What time do you generally wake? Like, does it depend based on the day?
You know what? It really depends what's on my mind. So, if I've got something churning away there, I might wake up at 1:30, 2 o'clock, and I'll have a cuppa. And I'm one of these people that if it's there and I'm thinking about it, then I have to do something about it. So I either get up, I'll draft an email, I'll write out what I want to say, particularly recently with local government, if there's something that's churning away, you think, oh, I'm going to go and do something about that now. And then I'm awake, so that starts my day.
How many times is that due to the budget?
Yes, I spent many early hours of the morning going through the budget. Yeah, rates time. It's always a difficult time for councillors because You know what the demands are and the expectations of the community, and you're also conscious as well that in order to deliver that, there's going to be a cost, and so it's that balancing act. So and it's a big document to go through. So I make sure that I go through, the 600 odd pages.
Yes, a lot of reading. A
lot of reading, a lot of highlighting. So I just get my ruler out and I go through and I highlight, and then that's it. Yeah. And once I've done that, then it settles a bit with me, and then I know I can ask staff the questions and the like to clarify in my own mind that yes, we should be putting this one in the budget, or can we carry that forward to next year, or whatever the options are. But it's always a challenging time for any council. Yeah.
And I feel like I have to ask you, if you're getting up at 1:30 a.m, what time are you going to bed then?
Depends if the Dockers are playing a night game. I'll watch that. Depends what's on. I love watching sport, so watch some of the tennis, the US Open.
Yeah.
So that didn't come on till sort of, some of the good matches didn't start till 11 o'clock at night. So that was like a bit of a. Sometimes I have a little nap.
You're allowed to have that, Michelle.
Yeah, and now I'm a nana, so I'm allowed to have a nana nap. But so I love watching sports, so I'll try and stay up. But generally, I'm in bed around about 9:30. Yeah.
Get a decent amount of sleep.
Yeah, that's right. Keep the brain ticking over.
Yes.
Yes.
What is the weirdest or funniest assumption someone has made about you?
That I'm going to run again for Shire President? No.
You've still got another 2 years.
I've got another 2 years yet to make that decision. All right, here's one for you. My husband uses the terminology "the general" as a term of endearment. So it goes back obviously to our military career. So when I was pregnant with our first bub, went to the obstetrician, and he overheard Greg call me the general. So unbeknownst to us, the obstetrician played golf with the Commodore at HMAS Stirling.
Yeah.
So my obstetrician assumed that I was a general in the army. So he's out playing golf with the Commodore, and he goes, which is probably a breach of confidentiality, but anyway, he goes, "Oh, one of my patients is a general." And the Commodore goes, "No, we don't have any female generals in the Defence Force." He goes, "Yeah, she's a general." So when we're on our next visit, he said, "What rank are you in the army?" And I said, "I'm a major." He goes, "Oh, so you're not a general. I assumed you were because your husband called you the general." So there you go. That was pretty funny. Yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, there you go. So he assumed I was a general. So I thought that was nice. Yeah.
If we had to swap jobs for a day, how do you think it would go?
Me doing the podcast on the other side?
Yeah,
or...
me doing your job and you doing my job.
Now listen, it would depend what day of the week we were doing it, right? So let's assume it's a Tuesday and it's a council meeting day, all right? So you would be busy. And I think you do a sterling job. No problem.
Thank you, Michelle.
Yes. How I would go in your job, I'm not too sure. With all this technology and the like. And I'm not that good on the conversation side of things, and I think that's very important in your role, making people feel comfortable and and answer these questions and the like, and smile nicely all day, and be interested in those some topics and subjects that may be really boring, but you still got to show an interest in them, and so I may not do so well in your job, but I'm sure you do well in mine.
I'll keep that in mind if I ever decide to run for council.
There you go. Yes, for sure. But my job it is a job, just about a full-time job, the Shire President's role now. But your phone's always ringing. sometimes mine rings at 9:30 at night, and I did have one a while ago, and it was a chappie from Clifton Park who wanted his trees trimmed. They're under the power lines, and I said, you know, I'm quite happy to get this, forward your request onto staff. I said, can I just ask though, why you think you can ring me at 9:30 at night? Not that I have a problem with it, but you know, he goes, oh, he said, I do apologise. He said, but I'm FIFO and I fly out tomorrow, and my wife's given me a whole list of jobs, and that was the last job on my list. So he said I had to do it so I could put a big tick next to it, and then I fly out the next morning. I said, fair enough then. Yeah, so yeah.
Do you know whether the trees got resolved?
Oh, well, he didn't phone back, so I assume so. Yeah. Yeah, I leave. That's for staff to sort out, but yeah.
Do you think you could beat me at pub trivia?
In short, no. Yeah, no, I'm not very good at trivia questions and the like, so I'm sure you'd outdo us or outdo me. My husband's very good, and when we go along as a team, he provides the answer and I write it down. So yeah, no, you'd probably outdo me. Yeah.
So not even like military knowledge?
No, I got nothing. I'm not very strong on any sort of subject matter. Yeah, yes. But Greg knows about sport, movies, all those sort of subject areas that pop up at quizzes. He's pretty good. And we normally drag the kids along because they're pretty good as well with movies and music.
Yeah.
And I offer to write the answer down. Yeah.
Sounds like a fair deal.
So you would probably outdo us if you were sitting at an opposite table. Yes.
Right. It's all right. Well, we've come to the end of Question Roulette. Michelle, how did you find it?
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, pretty good. Not too bad after all. I was a little bit, so I think we did all right. What do you reckon, Sean?
I think we did pretty well as well.
Very good. Very good. Thank you for the opportunity.
It's all right. Thank you so much for your time, Michelle.
My pleasure.